When we talk about Christmas, we're really talking about this one incredible moment, the moment that true light bursts into our world's darkness. But what does that actually mean? Okay, let's get into it and really explore the power of that light.
I mean, right out of the gate, the Bible makes this just incredible claim. And it's not just talking about any light. This is a light that darkness literally cannot overcome. It can't snuff it out, can't defeat it. And that one idea, that's the foundation for everything we're going to talk about today.
All right, so here's where we're headed. We're going to look at the light and the darkness, what it reveals, this amazing story about going from blindness to sight, why we're meant to share it, and then how to actually put it into practice.
Okay, so let's get into it. The light in the darkness. We throw that word light around a lot, right? But what does it actually do? I mean, it's got to be more than just making things look brighter. And yeah, it is. Its purpose is way more fundamental than that.
And here it is. The whole point, the fundamental function of this light is to give us sight. It's that simple. It's the ability to see spiritual reality. Think about it. Without it, we're basically blind. Sure, we can get by, we can know a bunch of stuff, but we're still just stumbling around in the dark, totally unable to see what's really there.
So that brings up a super important point. Knowing a lot of things isn't the same as actually seeing. And there's this character in the Bible, Nicodemus, who is the perfect example of this.
So Jesus is talking to Nicodemus, who's this major religious teacher, a real expert. And listen to what he says. He doesn't say you can't understand the kingdom of God. He says you can't see it. It's a completely different thing. It's about spiritual sight, and that requires a total transformation. And this is where it gets really interesting when you put them side by side. On one hand, you've got Nicodemus. He's the expert. He has the reputation. He's the insider. But he's in the dark. He can't see. And then on the other hand, you've got this man who was born blind. No status, no knowledge, nothing. But after he meets Jesus, he sees. He gets it. It just goes to show, this kind of sight isn't something you can earn with your brain or your status. It's a gift.
Okay, so how does this actually play out in a real story? Let's jump to this amazing scene during the Feast of Tabernacles in Jerusalem. The whole city is lit up with these massive lamps, celebrating God's light guiding them. And it's right here in this super public symbolic place that Jesus makes this absolutely huge claim. Can you just picture it? He stands up and declares, "I am the light of the world." Whoa, that is a massive statement. But here's the thing about Jesus. He doesn't just talk the talk. He backs it up. And what he does next is the perfect living proof of what he just said.
So first, you have the declaration, I'm the light of the world. Then comes the action. He immediately finds a man who was born blind and heals him. This isn't just some random miracle he pulled out of a hat. No, it's a living, breathing demonstration of who he is. And it all leads to this simple, powerful testimony from the man himself.
And this line, wow, it's got to be one of the most powerful things in the whole Bible. The guy doesn't try to argue theology. He doesn't pretend to have all the answers. He just says, look, one thing I do know, I was blind, but now I see. That's it. That's the heart of it all. A personal, undeniable change from blindness to sight.
So you see, the big takeaway here is that this light isn't passive. It's not like flipping on a light switch in a messy room. It doesn't just reveal reality, it actually transforms it. And 2 Corinthians puts it beautifully. It says that the same God who said, "Let there be light" at the dawn of creation is the one who shines that light in our hearts so we can finally see.
So once you've seen this, once your eyes have been opened, what's next? Well, it creates this natural impulse. You can't just keep something that life-changing to yourself. It's like the Apostle John wrote, you feel this need to tell people what you've seen and heard.
But why? Why is sharing this light so urgent? I mean, if it's this great personal thing, why not just sit back and enjoy having your own sight? Well, the reason the Bible gives is that there's a real urgency. It talks about how the God of this age has actually blinded people's minds so they can't see the light. There's this spiritual darkness that's actively working against them. So our job isn't to force anyone's eyes open. It's just to introduce them to the one who can.
And when you think of it that way, it totally reframes things, doesn't it? It's not a burden. It's not some sales pitch. It's a privilege. It's just you, honestly telling someone what you've seen. Just like that man who was healed. It's just the natural thing that happens when your whole world has been changed. All right, so that's the what and the why. Let's shift gears and get super practical. How can we actually put this into practice and start shining this light, like this week? A really great starting point is the practice of Sabbath. Think about it. If you're going to be a source of light for others, you've got to stay plugged into the main power source, right? And that's what Sabbath is. It's just intentionally setting aside time to rest, recharge, and reconnect with God. It's not about a bunch of rules. It's all about relationship and just getting renewed. And if you want to take this deeper, maybe with your family, here are a couple of great questions to chew on. The main idea is that this light lives in us and we're called to share it. So, first, who in our lives needs to hear about Jesus this Christmas? And second, how can we actually show them his love and light? And this whole idea can be summed up in a simple prayer. It's really about starting with gratitude, just being thankful that our own eyes have been opened, and then asking for the courage to reflect that light to other people, through what we say, what we do, and how we love. It's about wanting your own story to point others to the true light of the world. And that's really what I want to leave you with. This one simple question to carry with you this week. Whose darkness can you bring light to? Just think of one person, one situation. Because remember, you carry the light of the world with you.